Hey, all you action figure enthusiasts out there, JC here with another TNINews video. And we've got a lot to cover today. From NECA Toys, we've got a new Bela Lugosi Dracula figure that's been teased, as well as another new Gargoyles figure revealed. McFarlane Toys, we've got word of a Ninja Spawn figure. And then, of course, this past weekend, we had PulseCon. So a ton of reveals from Hasbro. So all that and more in today's video, and let's jump right into it. So welcome to a Monday edition of TNINews, and like I said, we've got a lot to cover today, including news from McFarlane Toys and NECA, Mattel as well. They released official images for their upcoming Masters of the Universe Masterverse Tri-Klops figure. So this figure is available now at places like our sponsor Entertainment Earth, and with these new images, we get a good look. We had seen this figure initially at PowerCon back in September, but now we have the official images, and you can see you can have him either in his classic look, or more classic look I should say, or then you can have him in that more kind of cult leader getup that he wore in much of the first part of the Masterverse series on Netflix. So pretty cool looking figure overall, especially if you like Tri-Klops and you prefer his classic look. I'm definitely glad they allowed you to do both with this one. And as I said, this figure is available for pre-order now. Now switching over to NECA Toys, so updating a story I talked about last week, I just wanted to share this new image that was actually released by the folks at DX Animation. They had done a stop motion animated video for the NECA Toys Universal Monsters Turtle mashup figure of Raphael as Frankenstein. So I'll put a link to that in the video description below if you haven't checked that out. But they also, for folks who were asking, put up this comparison image. They had the figure in hand to do the stop motion video, and so they were nice enough to take this image, giving us a comparison of how the new mashup Universal Monster turtle figure will look with regular turtle figures, specifically here one of NECA's movie figures. And this Raphael figure is available for pre-order now. We know there's at least 3 other Universal Monster figures coming. It's possible we might see another one this coming Tuesday for Turtle Tuesday. I don't know that for sure, but I wouldn't be surprised. And then I'm guessing there's at least a 4th turtle figure with Donatello, but we've not yet seen any listings for that. The other 3 we had seen listings in the Target system, so we knew they were coming even before NECA officially showed it off last week. Speaking of Universal Monsters, NECA teased a Dracula figure based on the Bela Lugosi version last week with this image. No other details are available at this time. I think we all knew that they were going to be doing Dracula, but now it is essentially confirmed. And hopefully we will be getting more images and details on this figure, maybe as soon as this week. Maybe they'll use this one to top out their monster reveals for October, being this is the last week of October. And when more details on this figure do become available, of course, I'll be sure to let you guys know. And then finally for NECA, on Friday, they released this one image for another one of their upcoming 7-inch scale Disney Gargoyles figures. This one is based on the character Hudson. I don't know when this one will be going up for pre-order. Probably, there's some others that have already revealed for this line that will probably go up first before we see Hudson. But overall, I've got to say the detail on this one looks pretty good. And when more details become available on this figure, I'll be sure to let you guys know. Now on the McFarlane toy front, so first of all, we've gotten the official images and details for that She-Spawn and Cy-Gor figure. So the She-Spawn figure is a deluxe figure. However, the only thing really that seems to be making it a deluxe is added accessories. You get 3 different rifles and 2 bladed weapons, as well as an extra hand. So I'm not sure if that really qualifies as a deluxe figure, but there you go. It is going to cost you $40. And then again, we also have the Cy-Gor figure, which is going to be a mega fig. That one is basically just going to be a pretty big character like we've seen with the other mega figures, but really no other accessories with it. Overall detail looks pretty good, and articulation and such. And I'm expecting both of those figures to be going up for pre-order this week at pretty much everywhere, including our sponsors Big Bad Toy Store and Entertainment Earth. I believe these will probably be going up on Wednesday. Now, besides that, late last week, McFarlane did an interview with Comic Tom 101, and in that interview, Todd showed off some prototypes for some additional Spawn figures. So first of all, it looks like we are getting a Ninja Spawn figure. They showed, he showed briefly the prototype for that one. And then, yeah, a third version of Gunslinger. This one looks like it's going to be on a horse. So some type of deluxe figure probably. Probably using the same horse that is coming in that Return of the Dark Knight set. That will be a Build-A-Horse. This one, I'm guessing it's just the straight up horse and Gunslinger. But we'll have to wait and see when we get more details on both of these. But looks like both of those are additional Spawn figures in the works for 2022. Now, I know a lot of you have been asking about the next Spawn Kickstarter. Medieval Spawn is what Todd had indicated he was going to be doing his next Kickstarter for. I'm guessing they've probably delayed that just because with all the shipping hassles going on, with the ports and everything. But I think originally that was going to take place this year, start this year. But my guess is, I don't know for sure, but my guess is they're waiting until next year when things kind of straighten out with all the shipping and such. So again, when we hear more on that, I'll be sure to let you all know. But I know a lot of you have been asking about it. And as I said, my best guess is they've just delayed it until things, basically start getting here to the U.S., in a more timely manner. Mezco is going to be opening up pre-orders this week on Wednesday for a 112 Collective Halloween 2 Michael Myers figure. So stay tuned for more details on that. Mattel Creations is going to be offering for you Gremlins fans a new figure for their Monster High line based on the Greta character from the second movie. We don't have any pricing detail or anything like that, though I'm guessing it is going to be fairly expensive. Most of the stuff on Mattel Creations is. This is going to be going up for pre-order on the Mattel Creations website this coming Friday at 9 a.m. Pacific time. And if this is something that interests you, I would recommend that you be online around that time. Last time they did Monster High for Mattel Creations, those items sold out pretty quickly. Loyal Subjects is going to be expanding their Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle offerings for their BST-AXN 5-inch action figure line. Besides the 4 turtles that we already knew were coming, they are also going to be releasing figures of Shredder, Bebop, a Foot Soldier, and Casey Jones. And these figures are going to be released early next year. Super 7 this week is going to be opening up pre-orders for their second wave of 7-inch scale Ultimate SilverHawks figures. They put out this teaser image, and with this image, it looks like they're going to have the characters Bluegrass and Steel Will in the second wave. I expect more details will be coming on Wednesday when they go up for pre-order. They'll go up first on the Super 7 website and then should be available at places like our sponsor Big Bad Toy Store an hour or so after that. Okay, now let's talk Hasbro's PulseCon that took place this past weekend. Probably not quite as many reveals as some of you were hoping for, but definitely enough that there's plenty to talk about today. I will note, however, if you caught my news video last week, I did warn you guys to, probably lower expectations, especially with like the Marvel stuff. And it looks like I was pretty much dead on with that. But again, we still had quite a few reveals with all the various brands. So let's just jump into it and let's start off with Fortnite. So first of all, they revealed their Scientist figure, which is available for pre-order now at places like our sponsor Big Bad Toy Store. That is a part of their 7 collection, and with this one, it's pretty cool. The face lights up. The visor actually lights up when you push a button. So, a cool feature. And then it has different face plates that you can put on it. So one of the face plates is meant to mimic the light up feature, so you don't run out your battery. You can't keep the light on all the time. So if you want it to look like it's lit up, they actually give you an alternate face plate for that. And again, that one is available for pre-order now. And then besides that, they showed off the figures for the figures in the second wave of 6-inch Victory Royale, their Victory Royale series. So the figures that they showed off, which are not available for pre-order yet, we just got the digital renders for these, but they're going to be doing the characters Ragsy, Funk Ops, Bush Ranger, and Metal Mouth. Now, I don't know when exactly these are going to go up for pre-order. It looks like they're still fairly in early stages, but I'm guessing, maybe by the end of the year is when we can expect to see the pre-orders on these. The first wave of figures are actually starting to see release now. Now let's dive into Power Rangers. So on their Power Ranger panel, they had some new reveals. So first of all, they're doing a new Lord Zedd replica helmet for the Lightning Collection line. This one is available for pre-order pretty much everywhere. And it does have voice modulation in it. So when you talk through it, it makes your voice sound different. Kind of cool, if you're into Lord Zedd and everything. And then on top of that, for action figures, they announced for their Deluxe line, we are getting Parantis Head. I think that's how you say his name. Some type of fish character, which looks pretty cool. I always say this, I really don't follow Power Rangers that closely. So it was never my thing, so I'm not really familiar with these characters. But this one, to me, was probably the coolest looking figure that they showed off this weekend. And again, it's part of their Deluxe Monster line. It is available for pre-order now. They also showed off a Galaxy Glider with TJ the Blue Ranger for their Rangers in Space line. And I've seen some of you say that they haven't even released the first Blue Ranger and they're already doing a second one. But that's how it goes, I guess. And then for just regular figures, the next wave of figures in the Lightning Collection, we're getting from Dino Fury, the Red Ranger. We are getting essentially a Zeo Cog figure. They've done the Cogs as a 2-pack. Now they're doing it as a single release. We're getting Shelby, the Dino Charge Pink Ranger. And then finally for Wild Force, we're getting the character Merrick. Now, again, this is the next wave, the first wave for 2022, and these are available for pre-order. And then there's actually going to be some packaging variants of these figures released as Walmart exclusives. And I'm not entirely sure. I don't think they've gone up for pre-order on the Walmart website, but there will be, again, with different packaging, some Walmart versions of these figures released. And then finally, a confirmation of something I told you guys about a little over a month ago, a new Zord figure that is said to be about 11.5 inches tall. This is falling under what they're calling the Zord Ascension Project, so they should be doing more than one Zord. But this is the one they showed off this weekend. It is still an early prototype, and as I said, they said this figure or this Zord is going to be about 11.5 inches tall. Highly detailed, little miniaturized figures will be included, multiple pairs of hands, things like that. Not up for pre-order yet. I don't know when this will go up for pre-order. They are also offering an NFT Zord, which is essentially a digital version of the artwork that you can get. Now with that, they also include a token that you can use to buy a physical version. That's $200. It went up for pre-order on the Hasbro Pulse website this weekend. It is a Pulse exclusive. I'm not going to go into the whole NFT thing. I personally kind of think NFTs are stupid, but I'm not going to get into that debate. But basically, they're digital, supposed to be one-of-a-kind digital type artwork or what have you of something. You're not actually owning something physical with an NFT. But again, with this particular offering, Hasbro will be giving a token out so that you can get the physical one, which is probably why it's $200 as opposed to $100. For Ghostbusters, they had really no new product reveals this weekend. I don't know if that means they're going to be winding down their action figure line of Ghostbusters, or if maybe they're just waiting to see how the Afterlife movie does. They did, however, tease a Haslab project for Ghostbusters that is going to be coming. It looks like they're going to be offering a replica of the Proton Pack. So no other details other than it looks like this is going to go live this coming Wednesday on 10/27. After PulseCon, they put out a little video, again, teasing it and putting the date 10/27. So I'm guessing that's when they're going to fully reveal it. Hasbro's actually doing a private live stream for their premium members, those who are willing to pay $50. And there's supposed to be some product reveals, and I think this is something they're going to fully reveal and then probably put it up on Haslab that day. And that's going to take place at 5 p.m. Eastern time. I don't know, last time they did this at the last PulseCon, while they said it was for premium members only, the URL basically was viewable by anyone who actually had, knew what the URL was. So I don't know if it'll be the same with this or what have you. But any kind of product reveals will likely, regardless of how private this actually is, I'm sure will come out shortly afterwards, and when they do, I'll be sure to let you guys know. And as far as this particular Ghostbusters Haslab, if it in fact does go live on Wednesday, again, I'll be sure to let you guys know, either here or on TNI. Now, while we're on the subject of Haslab projects, let's segue into GIJoe, which was probably my favorite panel and had the best reveals of the weekend, in my opinion. So first of all, they did announce a GIJoe Haslab project. This will be for 3 3/4 inch figures. In fact, they also announced that they're bringing back 3 3/4 inch O-ring figures that will be sold exclusively on Hasbro Pulse's website. They've said they've fortified the O-rings as well as the thumb design so that they won't break. They've offered 2 figures starting with Storm Shadow and Snake Eyes with this new O-ring line that has special packaging, an outer case that looks like the old figure collector cases that they did back in the day. And then again, the 2 figures that they're starting off with, of course, are Snake Eyes, which is his original look, even though they've included a sword with him, a really big sword. I don't know why they included that. And then Storm Shadow as well. But then on top of that, and they say they've got really big plans for this. So, it sounds like they're going to be going all out with these. The figures are definitely a little bit on the pricey side. These are going to be essentially limited releases. My guess is this is the only way Hasbro could get these out to people, as I doubt there's much interest from the retailers to carry these. So even though they're pricier, I mean, unfortunately, in today's market, I think this is the best way we're going to see something like this done. So, but anyway, they say they're going to be doing a lot of, they've got a lot planned for this line. And then besides that, they kicked off the next Haslab project, or one of their Haslab projects. They actually announced Tease the Ghostbuster and then started 2 others, this one and a Star Wars one, the Rancor, which I'll talk about in a minute. But with the GIJoe Skystriker, to me, this is pretty cool. It's got, they've already, basically they went on and showed off all the stretch goals for this thing. It needs a minimum of 10,000 backers. The cost of it's going to be $230. As I'm filming this right now, it's basically under 3 days in, and already it has 3,921 backers. So I don't think there's really going to be a problem with this getting funded. And there's over 43 days to go on this. So besides the Skystriker itself, and it's got a lot of cool features that we didn't see with the original one. I know there's been a number of Skystrikers released over the years, but none of them really quite captured the awesomeness of the original. And this one, I think, not only captures that awesomeness, but surpasses it. So you get essentially, that classic Skystriker design. And then you get the blast effects that you didn't get with the original that you can attach to the back jets. You've got blast effects for the machine guns on the front. You've got blast effects that will attach to the back of the rockets. So definitely pretty cool there. You get a display stand, which I think is really awesome because, this is going to, allow you to display it a lot easier. You can put the rockets on the display stand. It's going to come not only with Ace like the original figure did, and that will be an O-ring figure, but then you're also getting that other guy that was featured on the original artwork for the Skystriker. I think his name was Ruthel or something like that. So just kind of a nod to the original Skystriker artwork on that. So 2 figures are automatically included. You also get some support vehicles, which, would be really cool if we actually had a flag, a USS flag to go along with this. But you get that. You get all the missiles and weapons and everything. And then they've even included things like the parachutes, which that's something that's really been missing from all the more modern versions of the Skystriker due to safety regulations. As a kid, that was one of my favorite things about the Skystriker was, ejecting your pilot out and having, throwing him up in the air and then having him float back down to the ground. So they've included those. They're cloth parachutes, so they should be pretty sturdy and work really well. And then on top of that, again, there's stretch goals that they've announced. If they get to 13,000 backers, we'll get an extra Scarlet figure in pilot gear, which is something they kind of made up. I don't think we've ever seen her wearing blue pilot gear like this. In the original Mass Device episode, she actually was the first person we saw flying a Skystriker, but I don't think she was wearing this actual outfit. But nevertheless, it's pretty cool, very similar to Ace's outfit. And then Ripcord is the second unlockable goal, where you're getting a version of Ripcord, and then finally, and that one requires 16,000 backers. And then the third stretch goal at 18,000 backers are a couple of support crew members again, which would be really cool if we ever one day got a Haslab USS flag. So, for those of you who collect 3 3/4 inch or have been wanting, to see 3 3/4 inch return, especially with the O-rings, again, this isn't a mass retail release, which would be best case scenario. That would allow them to be cheaper, but I just don't think there's any retail support for something like that. So I really feel like this is honestly the only way that Hasbro could make this happen. I know a lot of people are going to complain about, Hasbro crowdsourcing and all that, but to me, this is probably really just the only way we would see something like this happen. So, definitely cool in my opinion, and so cool in fact that I've decided to do a giveaway for one of these Skystrikers, assuming it is actually fully funded, which again I think is almost a given. We're running a contest over on TNI. It requires you to basically tell us what GIJoe means to you. I will put a link to that contest and the details on how you can enter to win. But even if you plan on buying a Skystriker, I mean, a vehicle like this is something that, you might want to army build. So it would be cool to have more than one. So even if you plan on buying one yourself, you still may want to try and enter the contest and win an extra one for free. So again, link to that contest, in the details of that contest in the video description below. And then that wasn't it for GIJoe, because of course there was also the 6-inch GIJoe classified line, which is definitely not going away. We had some really cool reveals on that front as well. So if you caught my news video last week, you probably got wind of this, that they are doing a new Deluxe Crocmaster figure, which went up for pre-order this weekend. Comes with both Crocmaster and his alligator, or I guess the alligator, I guess, is female. So that's available for pre-order now. Definitely really cool. And then the other two reveals that went up for pre-order last week, or this past weekend, there was 3, was a classic Storm Shadow, not based on that artwork that we had seen, but actually, almost identical to his original classic look. Looks completely awesome with all of his weapons, the backpack that holds all of his weapons. I don't think they could have done a better job with Storm Shadow there. And then Spirit, which again, a very cool offering. And to my surprise, they pretty much kept his classic look. It seems like they're definitely doing all classic looks now. We saw that starting, I think, with the Flint Lady J figures, but they've kind of ditched that more modern look or video game look, whatever they're calling it, with the first couple of waves, and now they're doing essentially completely classic looks for these classified figures, which is something many fans were asking for. So the Hasbro GIJoe team seems to definitely be listening. We had more Target exclusives, but they have switched the Target exclusives to Python Patrol and Tiger Force, and which essentially translates to repaints. So the first 3 that also went up for pre-order this weekend were Outback, which while they haven't officially said it, I'm sure at some point we will get a regular version of Outback. And then a Cobra Viper, a repaint of the regular Cobra Viper with the Python Patrol colors, and then a Bat. So the Python Patrol Bat is a Target exclusive. And all 3 of those, again, went up for pre-order this weekend, and they were actually up there for quite a long time. In fact, I think maybe the only one that is sold out at this point is the Bat. I believe the Viper, last time I checked earlier today, the Viper and Outback were still available. So, Hasbro had said that Target was fixing their pre-order problems with these figures, and it seems like they were correct, in assuming they don't actually cancel the pre-orders at some point. But hopefully that won't happen, and but I also, just the fact that these are essentially kind of repaints, so they're not going to leave large holes in your collection, even if you don't end up getting them or miss out on them, I think is really cool. So speaking of the Bat, it didn't go up for pre-order this weekend, but they did show off a regular version of the Bat. So we got the Python Patrol version and the regular version. And that one, again, did not go up for pre-order this weekend. Hasbro actually didn't say how it was going to be released, but I have been doing checking, and I have been able to confirm to my satisfaction that this, in fact, will be a regular release. It's not going to be any type of exclusive release. I don't know exactly when it's going to be going up for pre-order, but it should be sometime this, it should be released sometime this year. I think it got held back due to, again, all the shipping mess going on. Again, going back to my news video last week, I told you how there was going to be at least three figures revealed, but possibly more. I think originally there was going to be 5 figures that they were revealing this weekend that were going to be going up for pre-order, but they only ended up doing 3. And I think the bat was held back as far as going up for pre-order because of the shipping delays. But should be a regular release. I've also confirmed, again, to my satisfaction, not officially confirmed by Hasbro, but that there is in fact an Alley Viper coming. We've seen the Alley Viper on the back of every packaging, on the artwork of every packaging since day one. They are in fact coming this year. And then I want to bring your attention to, I've talked about this list more than one time, the list that was originally put out there by the folks at What's on Joe's Mind. As you can see, that list seems to be shaping up quite nicely. You can see the Crocmaster they had listed as being released in January, and then Storm Shadow and Spirit with Freedom. Oh, and let me go back to Spirit. So Spirit comes with Freedom. Freedom can catch arrows. He's got alternate wings. Really cool figure. And you can also see that Spirit has realistic weapons. He is now designated as a sniper and as opposed to a tracker, and I don't get that, but whatever. Like I said, awesome figure, loving that. And then the third figure that you see on that list from What's on Joe's Mind is a Cobra Officer figure, which I was more expecting them to show off the Storm Shadow and the Cobra Officer this weekend and not Spirit, but we got Spirit and Storm Shadow officially revealed, but there should be a Cobra Officer coming, which is probably going to be some type of variation of the Cobra Soldier. Hopefully it has like an AK-47 and the silver symbol and the web gear similar to the Cobra Officer. Maybe the marking on his helmet that differs from the Cobra Soldier as well. But we'll have to wait and see. But I believe that's the third figure that's going to eventually be put up for pre-order along with Spirit and Storm Shadow. Now, it is possible, you may notice on this list from What's on Joe's Mind that the 2 figures that are not on here are the Bat and the Cobra Alley Viper. So again, I have independently confirmed to my satisfaction those will be regular releases in 2022. And to me, what that indicates is there might be some shuffling going on, again, maybe due to shipping delays. I also feel like, and this is just my personal opinion, I talked about this in the live stream yesterday, I feel like perhaps maybe this Bat, the regular Bat and the Alley Viper were originally intended to be Target store exclusives, part of the Cobra Island series. But then, seeing how much fans were not happy with the Cobra Islands, the Target exclusives, they changed it. They flipped the Target exclusives to the Python Patrol and the Tiger Force, which are repaints, and then they ended up making these 2 figures at the last minute regular releases. Again, that's just my speculation, but mainly because it wasn't in that list that we saw from What's on Joe's Mind, and so I'm thinking they're going to stick them in somewhere, and that might change some of the dates. I'm pretty confident about most of the figures you see on that list from What's on Joe's Mind, but I do think it's possible maybe some of the release dates might get shuffled around. Again, in part with the shipping problems, and then just in part with like adding the 2 extra figures to the line. We'll have to wait and see. But again, I feel like probably Cobra Officer, Spirit, Storm Shadow, and then at some point we'll see the Cobra Viper or Cobra Alley Viper and the Bat added into the line as well. Okay, now let's jump into Transformers. And so the main focus on the Transformer panel was their new Legacy line. So the Generations Legacy line. So last week we had gotten our first looks at Bulkhead and Skids, but there are plenty of figures coming in this line in 2022, and they showed off a few more of them this past weekend. Probably not as many as people were hoping. But starting off, we've got a Prime version from the Transformers Prime series an RC figure. This is a deluxe figure. And then we are also in the deluxe assortment getting a drag strip, which is one of the Stunticons from the G1 era. And there will be doing all the Stunticons, and they will have the ability to merge into Menasor. So I love the Stunticons, but I'm really kind of waiting to see what Menasor looks like. Hopefully it'll be, I wasn't too happy with the last Menasor that they did, so hopefully it will be better looking than that one. But if Menasor looks good, I definitely plan on picking those up. We are getting the Insecticons. Now, right now, the only Insecticon we have indication of is the one they showed off this weekend, which is Kickback, another deluxe figure. And then Skids, which again we had already seen, and Bulkhead. Skids is going to be a deluxe figure. We are getting for the leader class a Generation 2 Laser Prime, and I'm sure it's only a matter of time before they reissue that one with black colors for Nemesis Prime. The Bulkhead is also a Voyager figure. And then one other one they showed off, which was a Pulse exclusive, was that Galvatron with the translucent plastic. And that's supposed to mimic him transforming from Megatron to Galvatron in the original Transformer animated movie. And then with that figure, they also threw in some additional add-ons that would go along with your Haslab Unicron, which is what really sold me on this figure. I ended up pre-ordering this one this weekend. I haven't checked to see if it's still available. Last time I checked it was, but as of this very moment, I don't know if it's still available. Again, this is a Hasbro Pulse exclusive, but you get like the Quintesson drill ship, so you can have the ship that goes through its eye. You get the Junkion ship as well, and the Decepticon little the ship all miniaturized, so it's in scale with the Unicron figure. So if you like translucent figures, the Galvatron figure itself is pretty cool. And then if you like translucent figures, this is kind of cool. And then again, you get the added addition of the Unicron, Haslab Unicron add-on pieces. Now, all those figures went up for pre-order this weekend. All of them but that Galvatron were general releases, so you can get them at places like Big Bad Toy Store. And then there's a leaked list of stuff for the Legacy stuff. It's a very extensive list, so I'm not going to go over all of them. But ones that we are pretty sure are coming are Blaster, which, they even kind of teased in the panel. The one guy had the t-shirt, was kind of indicating that's a tease for something coming. So probably a pretty cool Blaster. And then for the Studio series, which will be continuing as well, there is a listing for another Dinobot with Sludge. So that's one I'm really can't wait to see as well is Dinobot Sludge, to go along with the other two Dinobots that they've already released with Grimlock and Slag, or as he's known as now, Slug. Okay, now for Star Wars. So before we get into the Hasbro stuff, I just wanted to let you guys know that Star Wars Select 7-inch scale Imperial Stormtrooper that I told you guys about last week is now available on the Shop Disney website. This is being sold as a Disney Store exclusive, as all the Star Wars Select figures are. So, but if you want to get your hands on it and you don't have you don't live near the Disney parks or what have you, then you can get it online now. Okay, now getting into the Star Wars reveals from PulseCon. So I'm going to go down this pretty quickly. Starting with Vintage Collection, they showed off a new wave of what they call specialty figures, which are essentially re-releases of 3 3/4 inch figures they've done before. They say they don't take up any kind of SKU number, so it's not like this is replacing something else. It's essentially just a way for Hasbro to get figures that people maybe missed out the first time around. So the figures that they announced, which are available for pre-order, are an E1 Anakin Skywalker, Mace Windu, Obi-Wan Kenobi, an E2 Obi-Wan Kenobi, a Clone Wars version of Ahsoka Tano. And again, these figures, which will be on the Vintage Collection card backs, are available for pre-order pretty much everywhere, including our sponsor, Big Bad Toy Store. They are also doing a Mandalorian and Grogu figure from Season 2 that will include those spider creatures. I forget their official name, but the spider creatures from that one episode in Season 2. They are doing for the Vintage Collection line, and that is a Walmart exclusive. I don't think that figure has gone up for pre-order or been listed on the Walmart website as of yet. I won't swear to it, but I don't recall seeing it having gone up for pre-order. But they did announce that one. They also announced as a Target store exclusive a Black Series version. So again, with Grogu and the Mandalorian, and then you get one spider creature included with that, and that one's going to be a Target exclusive, and that one did go up for pre-order this weekend. I don't know if it's still available. I haven't checked to see if it's sold out, but again, that one is a Target store exclusive. For regular releases in the Black Series, they showed off a Mayfield figure in Imperial disguise, Boba Fett with his nomad look, and they did indicate that there will be more Boba Fett figures coming, and then finally Cobb Vanth. They're doing Cobb Vanth, which is a deluxe figure, and all of those went up for pre-order pretty much everywhere this weekend. Going back to Vintage Collection, they revealed a new playset, the Navarro Cantina playset. This is something the folks at Yak Face had uncovered and reported about was coming. So this also went up for pre-order this weekend, and like their other recent playsets, you can buy more than one and connect them. You've got features like the window you can either have in place or shown as blown out, shot out like you saw in the TV series. So you get a little cool little trinkets and stuff to go along with it, a lot of detail, but essentially the cantina from the Mandalorian series at the end of season 1. They revealed as a Hasbro Pulse exclusive another troop builder set. So previously they'd shown off the Imperial Stormtrooper one, and now we are getting a Rebel Fleet Trooper set. Again, these are sold as Hasbro Pulse exclusives, and with this set you get Captain Antilles, and then you get a couple of different versions of the Fleet Trooper. They also announced that they're bringing back the Galaxy's Edge multi-packs for Black Series. These will be sold both at the Disney parks as well as on Shop Disney. So the packs that they offered, these did not go up for pre-order this weekend, but they will be soon. So they're doing a first order pack, which will include an AT-AT driver, a first order version of the AT-AT driver. It will also have an R5 astromech droid, a mouse droid, and General Hux. Then they're doing a creature pack, which is going to have a Mynock, a couple of Porgs, a Bogling, and then the Salacious Crumb lizards. The Salacious Crumb on at Jabba's palace, basically his brethren. You're getting 2 versions of that. Then we're getting a droids pack, which is going to have K7R1, CB23, a Pit droid, Baba Frick from the last movie, and then also a battle droid. And again, these will be going up for pre-order at some point on the Shop Disney website and will be available at the Disney parks. For the FX lightsaber line, they announced a Princess Leia Organa lightsaber is coming. So based on the last movie, we saw that in the last movie. So they're doing her lightsaber. They didn't show images for it, but they said that they're going to be doing Darth Vader's lightsaber for the FX line as well. Now, besides that, the other big thing that was announced this weekend for Star Wars was the Haslab Rancor creature. That one's going to cost you $350. It currently has 3,478 backers as I'm filming this, and will need a minimum of 9,000 backers. This again is for the Black Series, and the figure is said to be about 17 and a half inches tall, and then if you put the arm straight up, will reach 27 inches. If you put the arm straight out, then he will be about 42 inches wide. And then he's got a lot of articulation, about 45 points of articulation, and a lot of detailing on him as well. So right now they're just showing off the unpainted prototype for it. But again, that one is live. That Haslab project went live, and there are going to be stretch goals for this one, but they have not yet announced what they are. The first stretch goal will be unlocked at 11,000 backers. The second one will be unlocked at 13,500. The third will be unlocked, we don't know, and same with the fourth one. So I'm guessing one of those will be a Rancor Keeper. I can't imagine they're not going to do a Black Series Rancor Keeper as an add-on for this one. Another cool add-on, I think, would be a half-eaten Gamorrean Guard. I'd seen some people suggest that on social media, and I actually think that would be pretty cool. I have no idea what the other add-ons could be for this one, but we'll have to wait and see. I don't feel like, I feel like with both the GIJoe and the Star Wars, they definitely will be, both will be fully funded. I have little doubt in that, But I do have to say that I find it interesting that the G.I. Joe one, which started a day later. Now, as I'm filming this, the Skystriker currently has 4,095 backers, and the Rancor creature is sitting at 3,580 backers. It'll be interesting to see how that plays out, which one gets the more backers. My money's on the G.I. Joe one. Again, I think both will be fully funded, but I think the G.I. Joe Haslab project will end up being getting more backers than the Star Wars one. But we'll have to wait and see. Now, on top of the PulseCon stuff, we also have our first reveal for the Star Wars Black Series, the client figure from the Mandalorian TV series from season 1. Now, this figure, it was just revealed today via StarWars.com. But this figure should be going up for pre-order, I believe, tomorrow on Wednesday at 1 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. And then for Vintage Collection, we got our first looks at an Ahsoka Tano figure from the Mandalorian series, as well as a Mandalorian soldier from the Death Watch from the Clone Wars series. So both of those, along with the Black Series figure, should be going up for pre-order this Wednesday, again, starting at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, and these should be available everywhere that essentially sells Star Wars figures online. Okay, and then finally for today, let's jump into Marvel. Now, again, before we get into the Haslab reveals from this weekend, I just wanted to let you guys know that going up on the Disney Shop Disney website just today is a new Marvel Toybox figure. It is T'Challa as Star-Lord from the What If animated series. So if you're into the Toybox stuff, you might want to check that one out. Okay, now let's get into Marvel Legends and what was revealed for this weekend. So we had a number of reveals, probably not as many as people were hoping, but again, I kind of told you guys to probably keep expectations down as far as the number of reveals that were made this weekend. There's definitely a lot of stuff coming in 2022, but for whatever reason, they only showed off a few of them this past weekend. But let's get into what they actually did show. So first of all, they showed off the character Null, a new, fairly new character, which is said to be about 8 inches tall and is going to have 2 different head sculpts. While they did not say this in the video or in the live stream this weekend, I will tell you that based on information I have seen, this I believe this is going to be released as a 2-pack. I'm not going to tell you right now what the second figure in the 2-pack is, but I believe this will be, it's not a build, I don't think it's a Build-A-Figure, I think it's going to be released as a 2-pack. Next up, we got, unfortunately, another Walgreens exclusive coming in 2022. They are switching themes from cosmic to villains, and they are giving us a classic Baron Zemo. So a little bit modified version of the one we previously got, with, again, more of a classic look to him. And that will be the first Walgreens exclusive for the new year. Which unfortunately means that a lot of people are probably going to have a hard time finding it unless Walgreens starts offering these figures online again, which they seemingly have stopped doing with the last few exclusives, including Nova. Both the Quasar and the Binary figures have already started to see release overseas, but they've not yet been released here in the US. Nova is the last one to see release here in the US. But again, not online, only at physical stores. The only reason why I was able to find Nova is because I went down to Florida where there's a Walgreens on every corner, and I was able to find him at one of those stores. Actually, I saw him 2 different times, but I've yet to see a Nova figure released at the one Walgreens I have in my area. And a lot of areas just don't have Walgreens altogether. So like I said, it's kind of ridiculous that if they're going to keep doing Walgreens exclusives, that they don't at the very least make them available on their website. They revealed 2 new retro cardback figures on West Coast Avenger cardbacks with Scarlet Witch, and then a white version of Vision. Both of those figures are available for pre-order now. They showed off a digital render for Vulcan, which will be part of the X-Men wave, the next X-Men wave that I've told you guys about. They didn't confirm that it's going to be part of the X-Men wave, but they did confirm that Vulcan is coming. And this figure will be on their new go-to mold that is replacing the Bucky Cap mold, that will be using the pinless technology and also has butterfly joints. So you're not going to immediately see the disuse of the Bucky Cap mold, but this one will slowly phase out the Bucky Cap mold, and again will be their go-to mold, like we saw with the Bucky Cap mold for many years. So, this is essentially their new basic body. So Vulcan is coming, and just if you forgot, the other figures that should be in that X-Men wave, again, not officially confirmed by Hasbro, but include some version of Siren, some version of Havoc. I don't know exactly what versions. Darwin, some version of Wolverine, some version of Sabretooth, and then Maggot, some version of Maggot, which they actually teased at the end of the live stream. They showed off one of Maggot's Maggot, one of his little creature maggots. So that was the tease, the Maggot figure, which again will be part of that X-Men wave. They showed off a couple of MCU 2-packs, one featuring Sam Wilson as Captain America, and then one featuring Steve Rogers as Captain America, which is essentially just a reissue of the Walmart exclusive one from Endgame, which is a really solid figure, probably the best MCU cap that they've done to date. If you missed out on the Walmart one, then you might want to pick it up with this 2-pack. The Sam Wilson figure, I believe, is pretty much the same one we just got. It does come with an alternate head without the goggles. There are no wings included with this version, so you would still have to, buy all the wings from the wave if you want to have his wings on the figure. But that 2-pack is available everywhere and is up for pre-order now. And then they're also doing Winter Soldier from the Winter Soldier movie. They're re-offering that one with updated head sculpts and such. So if you missed out previously, you may want to pick that one up as well. And again, that is available for pre-order now. They showed off a couple of new 3 3/4 inch retro figures with Mr. Fantastic, the Falcon, a classic Falcon, Venom. And then those are part of the next wave, the first wave for 2022. There are 2 other figures that they did not show off this week, which are Wolverine and Hulk. I believe those will be the 2 figures to round out the wave. They did show a Wolverine figure that is being included in a new 2-pack with Phoenix that is offered as a Pulse exclusive. They went up for pre-order this weekend. I don't know if it'll be the same Wolverine that's offered in the wave. That may be why they didn't show it. I don't know. But definitely we're getting this regular version of Wolverine in the Tiger Stripe outfit, and then that's part of this 2-pack. We've seen them do with the exclusive 2-packs. We've seen them reissue the figures in regular waves. So again, I'm suspecting the Wolverine in the regular wave will be the same Wolverine in the 2-pack. They teased the character Despair, which they did not say how this was going to be released in the video, but based on information I've seen, this will be part of the upcoming Doctor Strange wave, which will be a mixture of movie and comic book based figures. So if you're wondering how that one's going to be released, again, I believe that will be part of the Doctor Strange wave. They also showed off 2 of the figures in the Marvel Legends 20th anniversary line. Unfortunately, one of the 2 was the one we'd already seen with Captain America. The second one was a classic Iron Man. And then the other 2 figures, which should be part of this assortment, are Hulk and a new Toad figure, which I think is what everybody wanted to see. But they did not show those 2 figures, just Hulk or just Iron Man and Captain America, both of which are now available for pre-order. They did end up announcing a new X-Men animated series anniversary line that is being offered exclusively on Hasbro Pulse as well as Shop Disney. These did go up for pre-order this weekend on the Pulse website. Last time I checked, they had not yet been listed on the Shop Disney website. And the 2 figures that they announced this weekend are Wolverine and Jubilee. I suspect, on the back or on the official description of the figures, they also indicate that a Jean Grey and a Storm figure will be coming. And then at some point, I got to figure they're going to also do at least Morph. I don't know exactly how many figures they're going to offer in this line, but I can't imagine they're not going to give us a Morph figure at some point. So we'll have to wait and see, but definitely a Jubilee and Wolverine. And these will come in special VHS tape packaging to look like, when the animated series got released on VHS tapes, it's meant to mimic that type of packaging. So Wolverine, Jubilee, definitely. And then based on the figure descriptions, we're also getting Storm and Jean Grey. And then we'll just have to wait and see what else we get in this line. And as I said, the first 2 figures are up for pre-order now on the Pulse website. Okay, so that's it for today. It was a long one, but we had a lot to go over. I'd love to hear your thoughts on everything we talked about down in the comment section below. Like this video if you haven't already, and please think about subscribing to the channel if you haven't. Also hit that bell notification so you're alerted every time I upload a new video. As always, guys, stay safe out there, and until next time, I'll catch you later.
Hey, thanks for watching today's video, and be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit that bell notification so you're alerted every time I upload a new video. And be sure to head over to the Toy News International and Marvelous News message boards communities. It's a great place to talk toys, and win cool contests like $100 store credits to Big Bad Toy Store. And remember, action figures are great.